Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to this IG live show again.
Hi, Joe. Hi, everyone.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. How are things in Calcutta?
Fine over here. It's a little bit drizzling. I think the situation out there is quite bad.
Yes.
I was quite apprehensive about the what you call the rain and it's like the situation out there in Delhi.
It's been raining non-stop since the morning, like 2 a.m. So we've been pretty much stuck indoors. But it's not too bad. Like, it's nice. You get family time.
All right. Okay. But still, we are fine. Isn't that
Yes,
so? You're good?
yes.
Great to hear that. Good to hear that. Okay, I'm just waiting for some people to join in so that we have to wave them after
Mhm.
they join. Yes. So let's start off. Now, good evening, everyone, and greetings from Bose Global Education. Joy here, back again with another IG Live, and hope you all are doing great. You all are having great evening. Today we have with us Tanuvee Agarwal, an alumna Culinary Art Academy, Switzerland, a school, one of the schools of Swiss Education Group. Hope that today's IG Live is going to be fantastic, interesting, interactive, as well as informative for all of us. I feel quite fortunate that Tanuvee has accepted my invitation to come over here, and hopefully we are going to have a lovely time together today, right, Tanuvee?
For sure. I'm looking forward to the session.
Thank you so much. And this is why, because you are a befitting person to answer all my questions, as far as Culinary Art Academy is concerned. Tanuvee, you are not only a guest for me today, you are the limelight. Okay, you are the princess. Okay, young lady, you have to answer all my questions very convincingly. And the stage is all yours. And just to host, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions. That's it. The
For
show
sure.
is all yours. The platform is all yours. Please go ahead, open up yourself professionally as well as personally. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Joey. So I'm Tanuvee Agarwal. I'm the chef and CEO of CAAS and a proud alumni of the Culinary Arts Academy, Switzerland. And
Mhm.
I'm also country manager for India for Swiss Education Group. So that's a bit about me. So Joey, the floor is yours. We can start with the questions.
Okay, ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, let me start. What piqued your interest in the field of culinary?
So I was always interested in food and the science behind food since I was a kid. I remember I held my first knife and tried chopping a peach when I was 5 years old. So there was always an interest there. The funny thing is, the interest came more towards 11th and 12th grade of high school when I had to choose between nuclear physics, which was my other go-to passion, and culinary one. So that was an interesting, but I guess it's also about, I always believe that your job should be a passion, and
Mhm.
that's the only way forward. Otherwise, you get bored of it. So I'm doing what I'm passionate about.
Great. What made you narrow down Culinary Art Academy as your study destination?
So there were a couple of factors. Firstly, Switzerland, highest rate of hiring ever. So like everyone goes to Switzerland, like all the hotels, all the restaurants, everyone is going to pick from Switzerland. Secondly, the program, it was very well structured, and the only program that I came across where I could get my business degree along with a culinary degree, and also I graduated with work experience. For me, the internship part, 1 year equivalent internship was what stood out the most.
All right. So did the course really meet your aspirational goals and dreams?
It did. It did. And I think more than that, it did a lot more for me. I grew as a person through this course. So one thing I always say is Swiss Education Group is really good at developing someone's soft skills. So I learned how
Mm-hmm.
to like a professional chef, yes, skill wise, but also how to conduct myself and how to carry myself forward. So today when I go other chefs like in the industry in India, it's really interesting because everyone is like talking to you. It feels like you're talking to some international person because you're so knowledgeable about things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there is a question coming up. How to manage the cost if planning to join one of the school? This is Pranay Lohakari is asking.
So, how to manage the cost of planning to join one of the schools? So, in the sense, you would want to know more about the fee structure, then Joey is the right person to go to. But if you're looking at how you manage your expenditure there, food, then your room, everything is taken care of, your books, your food, your living. So basically it depends on person to person on how much they spend on what extracurriculars they want to do.
All right. Okay, so let me talk something about the internship now. Since you got your internship in, did you get your internship in Switzerland itself? And if yes, which property you worked with, and what position were you, recruited as?
So I did my first internship in Switzerland itself. I was at restaurant Gina, which is an upscale like an Italian restaurant. And I was handling. So in Switzerland, we're known as stagiaires. So that's an intern, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
level put you at. And I was a one-man army handling two different sections. So I was handling pastry and the garde manger. That's the full kitchen by myself. So a lot for a first year, but it was, I learned so much.
All right. So, how did you like coming back to how did you prepare yourself for this long, wonderful, fruitful journey?
So how I think one thing I did before I went, like I decided on culinary was I interned at a place in India, and I
Mm-hmm.
made sure it was for me, and then I carried on with my journey to Switzerland. I visited the campus before I applied, so that's something like I got the opportunity to actually go travel, see the campus, meet the teachers. So I knew what I was getting into completely. And apart from that, I guess I'm a boarding school kid, so I'm used to packing my life in a suitcase. So for me, there was not much of a change that way.
So, because you were, in a boarding school, right?
Yes, I was in a boarding school earlier. So for me, like moving from place to place has been like really normal. So I didn't
Yeah,
need much.
yeah. So how much, like, now this is a question very important, very pertinent for me. Like parents play a very instrumental role in shaping up their own kid's life, making their career and fulfilling their dreams. So, how much would you credit your parents for your success, both as a chef as well as a foodpreneur?
So, as a chef, I would say they pay for my like I do owe them that, and I do want to return the investment at some point. And as a food entrepreneur, so I run my business as Tips with the help of my mom. So she's a co-partner with me, and it's been going on like that. So there's been always constant support. There was never uh, like a day when it was like you can't do this. So I feel parents play a critical role because they're the ones who are there with you when you are going through the highs and lows that everyone does in an industry. So I remember I called my mom the first time I got a bad feedback, but then I also called her telling her about my first good feedback. So it's just about having that emotional support you need.
Okay, so how did you work with that ROI, right, return on investment?
So that I set up my own business, and I promised my dad that like I'm the sort of person who wants to like pay him back at some point in life. So now I'm like saving up and doing that. So yeah, so it's like I've baked out my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan, and I know the direction I want to go in to ensure that the amount he spent is valued. It's not gone.
Hmm. Daughters understand all this very much. I Yes, exactly. So the next thing is that let me ask you something about accommodating yourself with different students of different nationalities. So was it very difficult to accommodate with the students who belongs to multitude of cultures, backgrounds, as well as the life experiences?
Actually, no. Everyone is very welcoming. Once you enter, like one thing which people don't understand is we all are starting at the same level. We all are new to the field. We all are freshmen again. So everyone was in the same boat, and we all wanted to make friends. So uh, my group, we were a mix of Scandinavians, Russians, Italians, Indians. So it was just a mix, and I'm still very close to all of them. And I feel like I was in Woodstock, so that's an American school. So I was always like aware about like, exposed to different cultures. So that bit was easier. But it's I know I'm rambling a bit, but I feel like that's the thing which stands out about SEG, the amount of people you get to meet and the network you build. Today, I have friends who are sous chefs or they're heading their own restaurants or sous chefs of like 3 Michelin or 2 Michelins. So it's a big thing there.
So how has the international mix of students actually helped you evolve as a person and in learning about different cuisines and cultures?
So I would say today interacting with them has evolved me in the sense that I'm in touch with what's happening globally. I know what food trends are taking place, what's happening in the hospitality industry as a whole. And apart from
Mm-hmm.
that, you learn so much about different cultures. Like, for example, Japan, you wouldn't go and tip. That's considered rude. But in America, you have to tip because that's the norm. So it's just these little
Mm-hmm.
things which you learn when you interact with the people and or how you greet or how you're like it's the way you carry yourself with a person of a different culture.
Absolutely. Agree with you. Thank you so much for this update. And now let us, because you have just a moment ago, you had a talk about soft skills. Okay.
Yes.
So which are those different skills apart from the culinary that you have actually added up to your arsenal?
So I would say public speaking. I would say
Mm-hmm.
proper dressing, punctuality, like my need for perfection. I'm a perfectionist through and through, from the way I dress to conduct, how I conduct myself during an interview or a full just while meeting a client as well, on how to talk to a client. And you need to know how to deal with both the difficult and the easy clients. So it's really there where I see a huge difference, because I'm a lot more patient and calmer than what I
Mm-hmm.
was before. Like I was a very rambunctious high school kid, and now I'm a lot more calmer, focused, and a lot more diligent with how I approach things.
Great. So while doing your graduation, when you were an undergrad student, so what was the study program? If I miss out on this, it won't be fair. So what was the study program, your kitchen hours? Because anybody who wants to become a chef would definitely like to know about the kitchen hours they're going to get. Did you get any time for, recreational activities?
So
Because I know the chefs are very busy.
no, so okay, we had long hours in the kitchen. We had like approximately 80 hours in the kitchen per week. But
Okay,
uh,
80 hours.
that's in
All
the first
right.
2 years. Your third year is a lot less because it's more focused on your bachelor's. You have a lot more business programs. And apart from that, I did have time to have a regular social life as well. I did go out with my friends in the evening, and we did go for movies during the weekend. So yes, regular university life also, that you don't miss out on that. And the
Okay.
program, the first 2 years, head on, head straight in the kitchen. Third year is when you are like all about the business.
Okay. So do you remember the movie you watched?
So the movies I watched, so I've done a Lord of the Rings marathon with my friends. I've done Star Wars marathons, and then I remember there were a couple of Marvel movies which released that time, which we went for. So yeah, there are a lot of nice stories from my time there.
So you had a lot of fun, right?
A
Apart
lot of
from
fun.
being, yes.
Yes.
So one of the things we need to remember, we always remember, and we think that when we go to the college, we are not going to miss our fun, at least. What kind of
No.
career support? Yes.
Yes,
The
sorry.
next question, yes. Okay, I'm asking the next question now. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, what kind of career support did you get during your studies, especially in the school, the Culinary Art Academy, to build up your
So,
career?
so for the career support from my TV to actually how to conduct yourself during an interview, everything was like we were guided a lot by our career counselors, and the team is very, very good. And apart from that, they also help you find the right job for which is suited to your profile, like your personality. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's key, because I can go today and apply to 5 different restaurants which might not, which meet a certain criteria but might not be right for me. So that's where they help out a lot. And at that point, like even our chef instructors were very proactive with us and our career choices. So like we go and talk to them as well about understanding about a certain restaurant or a certain company. So that way you get a lot of.
So I think whenever you get the weekends, like you can go for the recreational activities and all. I think you take the advantage of those weekends with the chefs, like going to the kitchen for the extra hours you want to get
It would
to cook.
depend. Yeah, so we did, like there were a lot of times during the weekends where we were like, okay, let's go in for an extra hour or so and like practice some skills. But we also had weekends where we were just like, let's just go chill by the lake and have a barbecue. So both
Oh,
were there.
wow. That's great. That's great. So now the next part of the question, which I think is very important, that Tell me about one particular thing that you would think about whenever you, I mean, which would take you back to your school again. One particular word I just want. It can be a couple
One
of words
word.
also, more than
Okay.
also.
I would say, hmm, let's see, what was one word which would take me back to my school? Joy.
Joy.
Yes. I know it's a very abstract answer, but the time I was there, it was just so joyous and so serene. And like
Mm-hmm.
for me, like there were those moments like I'm an act like I'm crazy over working out. So for me, my mornings were waking up at 5 in the morning and running from Vouvray to France because it's right next door. So I cross
Mm-hmm.
the border, run, and then cross back right by the lake. So for me, that's like that moment which just brings back all the memories. Or if you say the word lake, I have so many memories by the lake with my friends. So those are like two words which just like bring back the smile.
So which are the actually travel destinations, or you can say where which are the those tourist destinations which you have actually like you have been to?
So while I was there, I went to Spain, I went to Italy, I went to France, Germany. Then I also went to UK quite often because my sister was in UK. I went to Ireland. Like I traveled around a lot. Like I was like
Mm-hmm.
each midterm break, I was off somewhere. And in Switzerland itself, also I went around Switzerland a lot. So I've gone to the Italian part, the German. I started off in the Lucerne campus, so I got to see the entire German part. Then I moved to Vouvray, and then I was like roaming around the French regions. And then I've also visited Ticino, which is the Italian part. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm a travel junkie.
All right. So, did you really learn German before going to that part of Switzerland? Because you need to, it's going to help you. That language learning is really going to help you. So, did you learn
So
German before going there? Because,
I didn't learn German, but I did know basic French. I studied
oh,
French up to ninth grade, so I knew my basics in French, which wasn't on further in school. But that's something I always recommend. Please learn German or French before going. It makes life a lot easier. But
mhm.
I like this is an ongoing joke with my friends and me that while we were there, we could speak French fluently. We were fluent in German, and then whatever other language you were exposed to. So at one point, I could talk in Russian, Swedish, and in like French and German, so and Italian. So
Wow.
how that's
So,
how life.
exposing yourself to so many languages and you become multilingual, actually.
Yes, you do. You do.
You're no longer a stranger over there. You can roam around anywhere you like, right? Isn't it?
Yes, I guess it's that lifestyle. Once you start living the Swiss way, and Europe is just like your home.
Yeah, it's a home away from home. I
Yeah.
would truly say this way because nobody feels, aloof or alone over there because everybody's so friendly, they are so cooperative, and the entire atmosphere is very congenial, I guess.
Yes, I completely agree. I miss that atmosphere. I miss it so much.
So, what difference do you find yourself then and now?
So then and now I'm more business oriented because I'm a businesswoman. Then I was more focused on I wanted to be in the kitchen and I was a lot more like okay, I was a lot younger as well. I graduated when I was 21. So like I was like the world was my oyster. That's my favorite line. And everyone makes fun of me for saying that. But the world was my oyster. I was running around globetrotting. I went from Switzerland to the States directly. I was working then at 3 Michelin. And then I came back to India and then I started my own thing. So then I've always been on my toes. So I would say that time I was a lot more jumpy and more like ready to hop, skip, and jump countries. Now I'm a little more settled and more focused with my work.
Wow. So one particular thing I missed asking you, and that is before you went for graduation, did you really have the travel history, or you just you I mean traveled later on after you have visited or you went for the graduation to Switzerland?
So I have traveled a lot before as well. So like more or less like every year I used to go on a trip with my family. So then for me, like I've been around quite a bit. So that way I was very comfortable with the idea of leaving India.
I do really ask this question to everyone because whenever I have an interaction with the student, I always ask the student, "Do you have a travel history?" Because then we get to understand that the student
That's
already has a travel history, and it becomes easy for the person and the student and individual to know about it. That
no,
it becomes easy for us to explain them.
it
That's
does.
good
It
to
does.
know that. Yes. There's another question coming up for you. This is your show. How do you think of pursuing career in hospitality industry? That's the
So
question.
uh, how did I think of pursuing a career in hospitality? Hospitality is not only cooking or working in a hotel, firstly. There's a lot more to it. Hospitality is about selling an experience, it's about creating an experience. So, for me, that's what made me want to do because I like creating things. I like innovating new ideas. I like just be hands on with what I'm doing. So that
Mhm.
that was why I pursued hospitality. I hope I got
Oh,
the reference right.
yes, because they haven't written anything else. It's writing great. Okay, so there's one of the questions which I'm going to ask you this is, what has CAAS, Culinary Art Academy Switzerland, taught you for lifetime?
It taught me m- how to be humble and how to be a go-getter and how to actually work and like hard for achieving my dreams. And it showed me that it's not impossible because like I say, today I'm in multiple roles, and that's all thanks to them. I'm running my own business. I'm country manager for Swiss Education Group. I'm also looking at expanding this. So then there's like I've got a lot happening, and I can manage all that today because they trained me to be able to
Hmm.
do.
Okay. So now, little better because we are right on time, you see. So I just want to ask you a few little more questions. I'll ask you a few more questions. That is being a chef, what is your signature dish?
Okay, current it keeps on changing, truthfully, but currently it is tacos. I have a love affair with like classic Mexican food, and right now I'm obsessed with getting the perfect taco.
Mm-hmm. All right. So which is that particular dish you would never like to cook, though being a chef, you think that it requires a lot of preparation, you somehow try to avoid cooking that particular
Okay,
dish.
so truthfully, it's not the most difficult thing to make, but I hate making caramel because I always burn myself without fail. It's just really easy, but without fail, I'll always be walking around like looking for burnt cream because I get the hot sugar on me. So that's my little secret, which I like. I don't tell people usually that fast.
Good to know about that. So what are your hobbies outside your, study? Culinary, you have studied your hobbies.
So this is interesting because like I'm heavily into music. I'm a pianist. Then I
Oh,
also play the guitar. So then
wow.
that one part of my life. I love reading, and I love science. So like I'm like heavily into reading I'm old school that way. I love reading encyclopedias and like just reading up on what's happening with like mainly with nuclear physics and also a bit about microbiology currently. So yeah,
Do you still read them?
yes, I do. I do.
Okay. So what are your last words? Like, how would you motivate the students who wants to become chef? Because you are being an alumna of Culinary Art Academy Switzerland.
I would say if you like food and you have the passion and you enjoy doing what you want to do, then join this industry. It's a very giving industry. It makes you feel very happy. And trust me, we are the most welcoming of the lot. We welcome everyone. And if ever needed, you can also reach out and I'll ensure you meet some alumni who will help you through it. So, so just don't be scared to join.
Great. It was so nice. Like, I'm very happy that you have very convincingly answered all the questions. I have so many questions for you, you being a chef, and but still, because of the time, we are time bound. So it's time for us to conclude the entire show. So, all my dear friends, let us thank Tanuvee for, because we have learned a lot from her. We have been able to learn about the school from her, her experience in the school, and it's a successful show, I guess. It's a successful talk show. So before I go offline, just as Tanuvee has told everyone that if you have passion for food, now this is the tagline of Culinary Art Academy Switzerland itself, that if you have passion for food, career for life. So if you have passion for food, make it your career. For that matter, if you have passion for anything, make it your career. This is going to make a huge difference in your lifetime. So thank you everyone for joining this show. And I would thank Tanuvee in particular. Thank you so much. And hopefully I hope you have enjoyed this talk show.
Joy, it was wonderful. And I always tell you how much I love watching all your shows. I like follow all of them. So it's a, I was so touched that you reached out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I would like to say bye to you. Have a great weekend. All of you have a great weekend. And I took especially Saturday for you because Saturday you're off and
Thank
you
you
will be
so much.
concentrating.
Thank you so much.
You came over irrespective of the fact that it's raining like badly in Delhi.
No,
Completely.
it's completely okay. And like I said, I'm a fan of watching your series. So for me, it was like an honor being here. So then,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me. And we would like to say goodbye to everyone. Tanuvee, you have to goodbye everyone. I have to goodbye
bye.
everyone. Okay, bye-bye everyone and take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.
Thank you.